So we're just outside of Port Augusta and we've arrived at Mambray Creek Campground. We're going to go and have a look, so come with us and let's go check it out. If you're heading to Mambray Creek Campground, it's approximately 2 hours and 58 minutes from LA CBD, around about 263 kilometers. Once you get off the Princess Highway, head down Park Road to get to the campground. The closest towns to get supplies and fuel are Port Perry and Port Augusta. Now there are no dogs or pets allowed, it's a national park. You do have to pay to stay, bookings are required. All campsites are non-powered. Fires are allowed in fire pits, just not in fire danger season or on total fire ban days. There's drinking water available. There's flushing toilets and showers which are accessible. There are no rubbish bins, so please take your rubbish out with you when you leave. And there's a camp kitchen. There's 5G phone reception. It is suitable for tents, RV, motorhomes, caravans and camper trailers. And there are plenty of walking, hiking and biking trails around. There's also bird and animal watching. And it's an easy Seal Road entry for both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive access. So have a look at that. This is Mambray Creek Campground. Now the campground itself has actually got 49 sites available, also a day area too, and a few other group camping areas. Right now, as soon as you get in, there's a huge toilet block, and there's a number of these. And they all are exactly the same. There is hot, running showers. Amazing. And they're all very, very clean and well maintained. There's also different variant of toilets. Again, well maintained, lovely. Accessible toilets. Fantastic. And there's also parent rooms. Look at that. So if you need a change table or something like that, it certainly has all the options you need and well fitted out. So moving over here, you see there are water taps scattered around the place. Fantastic. They are drinking water. And this is a day area, so you can just come out here and hang out for the day. There's a fire pit and also a shelter with a picnic table. Lovely, so you're certainly in amongst it, and if you want to be separate from everywhere else, you can hang out around here as a day area. Look at those trees, look where you're hanging out. This is brilliant. I can definitely see myself hanging out here. There's also a nice loop area here, so if you've got a bigger platform and you want to turn around, this is a great spot to do it. There's also parking here for the day area. And a few more there too. But like I mentioned, this is for day use only. So here's site 1, just as you enter, close to those toilets and the bathrooms. Quite a large site, fire pit available, flat, easy entry. In and out, and you're surrounded by these trees, so lots of shade. You do have campers behind you, but they're a reasonable distance away, so it's okay. And you're going to be facing the other way. But there's a lot of space here. Very, very nice. You can be quite comfortable. Another great aspect of this campground is there is an abundance of drinking water and taps around to utilize. Moving along to another area where there's a shelter and a fire pit in that background. Lovely, another day use area. And look at the setting of this day use area. You can really appreciate the thought that's gone into this. and the surroundings. Just to be there in your group and enjoying. Wonderful. This day use area also has its own road loop, so if you need to do a turnaround there, fantastic. There's another water tap, drinking water. Now further down, there are walking trails, lots of them. And this is all part of the Mount Remarkable National Park. So you get your boots ready, walk safely, and enjoy the surroundings. Now moving to Site 2. Again, reasonably close to facilities and also the camp kitchen. A nice flat ground area, pretty much set up wherever you feel like it. There's your fire pit. Beautiful views in the background, and you're close to a walking trail. And look, there's some friends in the background. Site 3, walking trail right next to it as well, fire pit. Not as big as the other ones, but reasonable size. Fire pit there, you can set up quite comfortably, and you have that view to look out to. Wonderful. And on the other side, almost opposite, is Site 4. All these sites are pretty much going to look the same. All very well laid out, flat, fire pits provided. But those trees and those mountains and hills in the background, just lovely. And you have reasonable shade as well. Not to mention water tap. Site 5. That's on the other side. But it's great that they've staggered them so you're not directly facing anybody. Has that fire pit. Great area to set up. The walking trail is there. We're now getting closer to the camp kitchen. Not too far to walk to the very first toilet block or amenities block. There's that water tap. Site 6 is right near the camp kitchen. Great spot. Another fire pit. And the great thing about these is they're clearly marked out so you know where you're camping. There's no confusion here. And there's a walking path behind to get to the camp kitchen. And you're in the middle between one amenities block and the other. So Site 7 on the opposite side. There you have it. A little area. Wonderful. Fire pit. Look at that. I love that backdrop. Imagine sitting here, enjoying that view, seeing the wildlife, and just experiencing being in nature. Great layout. And so here's the drinking water, and this is the camp kitchen. So it's a barbecue and shelter provided. It is central to all the sites. So there's a sink with running water, a barbecue, and a picnic table, which is great. Now this is a central camp kitchen, but other campsites are a little bit further away as you get to the outer areas. So keep that in mind. It is a bit of a walk, not too far. This is site 8, close to the camp kitchen. On the other side, a great space to set up. Look at that view. Imagine sitting here and enjoying that around that fire pit, which is perfectly located to enjoy that view. On the other side, just offset from site 8 is site 9. And this site is tucked in quite nicely. Fire pit is also positioned to enjoy the view and not look at other campers. And in the background, you have that amenities block, toilets and shower, which is the same as what we saw at the beginning. Same facilities, same setup. A bit further on is site 10. I must say, they have manicured this perfectly. Great view there around those fire pits. And you're really starting to get into the creek bed, as well as a walking trail and looking at that beautiful view. Very scenic. Moving along to the next site, which is site 11. We are following the numbers. Another campsite, a slight angle as you get towards the end. And just on the other side, site 12, you've got that great tree in the background with that fire pit. A path straight to the toilet and the shower block. So this is a great site if you want to be near the toilets. And next door is site 13. Site 13 has a fire pit just like all the others. It's a bit smaller. You've got the toilet and the shower block right behind you, and the pathway to get there. Off to site 14. Stock standard, what we've seen, level ground, and the ground actually is not that difficult to get a peg in. So if you're worried about that, it's actually quite reasonable. But have a look, you're a lot closer to the trees and that walking trail and the creek bed. So as we get deeper into this campground, you'll see these campsites have a closer tree-lined view than when we first came into this campground. So as we go deeper, that tree-lined view becomes more prominent. Before we go to site 15, there's a walking path directly opposite you to the toilets and showers. And this is site 15. Easy entry. The ground is level. And that view becomes a lot prominent of that tree line and creek bed. So enjoy it while you're sitting around that fire pit. And just offset again is site 16. Close to the toilet block, has a fire pit. It's nestled into this area, so you've got some screenage around you and some shade. As we're walking into site 17, you can see that the landscape has changed. It's a lot more involved. You've got a deeper creek bed, you've got a much more prominent tree line, and you've got that mountain in the background. Have a look at that. site 18. You're coming around to the bend. Very easy laid out campground, close to that shower block and toilets, not far from the camp kitchen. You do have an area where you can set yourselves amongst the trees. And there's us getting ready to pull in, because we're in site 19. Have a look at that. Got some great scenery. The walking trail continues through here, but look at that, look at those trees, look at that view. The creek bed is just over there. Beautiful colours. And those colours, when it reflects from the sun, really makes a difference into your experience. I love it. One of the many reasons why we go camping. And this is site 20. As you can see, the toilets are in the background there with the showers. You've got privacy at the back of you with those trees. At certain times of the day, there's great shade. Because of those tree lines, it's well marked out. And like all of them that we've seen so far, so easy to get into. And they're very generous. Most of these sites are pretty generous. And site 21 is no different. This is right on the bend, so you have a much larger viewpoint. And you've got that fantastic view of the creek line. Have a look at that. All of that is for you to enjoy. Here is site 22. Straightforward entry site. But hey, you've got that great mountain view. There's a drinkable water tap close by, and a pathway to not just the walking trail, to a picnic area, which is another day use area, which we'll show you a bit later. So there it is, directly opposite to you is the walking path and an information area. So here's a quick look, which opens up to a massive day use picnic area. And this area has a toilet block all on its own. So only 4, and there are no showers. And here's that day area with all those car parks. And this picnic area is a reasonable distance from the campgrounds. So you're not going to have people close by and bothering you around. Lots of space, gas barbecues throughout, picnic tables and shelters. So feel free to use that as well. Great facilities. And while we make our way back, remember, all these sites are non-powered, and you are in a national park, so you need to observe the rules and regulations surrounding a national park. Back to it, site 23, so it's right next to that walking path we just showed you. and this is a nice site. You can see the toilet block for the day use area behind you, but it's covered with the trees. And you've got that fire pit perfectly set and placed to maximize your viewing experience. And just a quick round the corner turn and you're at site 24. And you can see certain parts of the day you will get shade. I keep going on about this view, but it really is beautiful. And so this side of the campground is very much situated and focusing on that mountain view. Next door, site 25. Such an easy entry with a spectacular view of those trees, the mountain, the rocks. Beautiful. And site 26, you're right at the face of the mountain. There you go. This is a big site. And look, we met a friend. You don't see one of those every day unless they're taking your sausage when you're cooking on the barbecue. They will take your food. Be careful. It's happened to me. And clearly, I never got over it. If you're considering staying at this site, I would take some shade, because there's not as many trees surrounding you as there are in other parts of this campground. Now before we get to the next site, which is site 27, it does a bit of a loop. So we are going to go around and then we're going to come back and carry on. Site 27, this is a big site. You have that backdrop. Well defined, level, a lot of room to maneuver, and not that far away from the toilets and showers. And next door is site 28. A reasonable size campground, lots of room. When you're considering staying at this spot, maybe you should bring a friend to stay right next door to you on site 29. Opposite to you, there is a tap that provides drinking water and a pathway that gets you to the showers and the toilets. One thing that you'll figure out very quickly on these sites is that they are reasonably close to each other with no screening in between. So you will be waving to your neighbours in each one of these spots along this stretch. But what you really want to focus on, as well as being friendly, is that beautiful view that you're looking at of that mountain. Site 30 is a very generous size spot. It's fairly open because this side does not have as much tree line as we've seen on the other side of the campground. So that's the end of that loop. And that's where we came from, which was site 27, and now we're going to move along to site 31. The sites along this stretch are very much in the middle of the campground. and site 31 is a large site. Fairly open on one side, but again the fire pit is situated to maximize the view. You do have that tree line screening that keeps you fairly separate from the other campers. And in the back there are some cabin accommodations that you can rent out as part of staying here at Mambray Creek. And this is site 32. Quite an open site, and you're in the middle of the two roads, and there is an area where you can enjoy the view without feeling that openness. Another water tap. It's great to have that much accessible water. It's fantastic. And there's that cabin accommodation that you can hire out. And here's the toilet block. Quite a number of showers, running hot water showers, just the same as we showed you earlier on in this episode. The main point of difference between this toilet shower amenities block compared to the other is this one is equipped with a defibrillator. So we've reached the end of the toilet block, and you can see the pathway to site 9. And these are other pathways to the campgrounds, so very easy to walk to the showers and toilets and the amenities. And the camp kitchen is not far away. Here's a short walk to site 33. Great view in that corner. You will see other campers in those more open sites because you are in the middle between those two roads and those sections. This is a nice leveled out site that does have shade, is next to a water tap, and just offset is site 34. Site 34 has a direct walkway to the showers, toilets, and a view of that nice little rock wall. Love it. This place is very well manicured. Here's 35. It's raised up a bit more so you can take advantage of that view. It's one of the smaller sites. It does have certain areas lined with trees. And 36, another site that's on the smaller side, walking distance to the amenity block, and you can see the camp kitchen in the background right there. And this is where we line up to that loop. So there's 37, right next to the camp kitchen. And directly opposite is site 38, and this is a drive-through site. So if you don't feel confident about reversing in, this might be a good one for you. And it has a great outlook of the base of the hill with some fantastic trees around you. Huge, these trees. And the neighbour of 37 is 39. Another smaller site, and you do have that luxury of being right next to the camp kitchen. And site 40 is another drive-in site, which is a reasonable size and quite set back than most sites here, to really appreciate that view that's right in front of you. And again, not far from the camp kitchen and the amenities and a water tap. And here's site 42. A smaller site as well. Your backdrop is this huge tree, defined, laid out nice and simple, on flat ground. And moving along to site 41. This area is the last section and stretch of this campground. There's a fire pit. This is a very long site, and is another drive-through site, so you can get in from both sides. So now leaving site 41, we're going to backtrack to where site 43 is located. And site 43 also backs onto the camp kitchen. It is another small site, and it has this nice, colourful greenery, tree-lined view that is the common theme throughout this entire campground, which is magnificent. There's nothing better than looking at this kind of view. Moving to site 44, and this is actually next to site 41. Sorry to be confusing, folks, I don't make the numbering here. This is how it's laid out. This has its own fire pit as well, as do they all. Here is 45. Look at these trees with their little nooks inside and hiding spots, their little hollows. And it really doesn't matter where you stay in this campground. There are so many photo opportunities that you can take and capture such beautiful, colourful and brilliant memories while staying at Mambray Creek. And we're marking out another water tap, which is on site 41, which is that drive-through site that kind of separates the two areas. And we now move to site 46. A smaller site, certainly a shady site. Opposite you is site 47 with its own fire pit. So if you wanted to get a couple of friends together, mates or family, this is not a bad section because they're all very close together. There's site 48 here, and your outlook is that mountain. Not as tree lined as the other camp areas that we've seen, but nevertheless it is a gorgeous view to look out to. Lucky last. What a mammoth effort, everyone. This is site 49. There you have it, back out to the exit. What a lovely day it has been here at Mambray Creek. Look at this place. This is the creek. You've seen the campgrounds. Come and check this place out. And remember, camp by me and you'll be a happy camper. Well, thanks very much for the support. And please remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel. It is free. And also follow us on all our social media. And remember to check out our website with that interactive map which links to all our videos. We've arrived at Mambray Creek Campground. We're going to go check this place out. So, yep. Oh, some protein. This is as close to the edge as I can. I can't go any fit. Lower. Seriously, are you recording this? Oh no, it's slippery. You sit on the edge, not off there. Whoa. Can I go back now? Anna, we're wrecking the Serenity. Oh, how's that?
Oh, that is perfect.
Just wash my hands. Great spot. This is Mambray Creek. Here, this is the creek. Even though there's no water in it, this is the Creek of Mambray. So we're pretty close to Port Augusta, and we've just arrived at Mambray Creek. Mambray Creek. The stop. Could be, you know. Could be lost in translation.